Welcome to part 3 of the resume writing tutorial, Important Reminders. In this section, you will learn tips on formatting your resume to fine-tune its contents. We will begin by discussing resume language. Employers favor bulleted phrases as opposed to paragraphs of information in sentence format. When writing bullet points, begin each phrase with a different action verb. Choose verbs of substance and power to highlight your accomplishments. For example, instead of using made, try create or design. A good idea is to look at the job description to identify keywords or industry buzzwords. When applicable, these should be placed throughout your resume. Make sure that each bulleted phrase is clear and concise. There are some things you want to be sure not to include on your resume. They are your age or date of birth, marital status, address or phone number of former employers, and previous salaries. Some recommend against listing religious or political affiliations unless related to the job objective. Do not include the words I or my on your resume. Remember to use phrases rather than complete sentences. Also, it is best not to abbreviate, as many abbreviations are not commonly known. Specific dates are not necessary, only list the month and year. When formatting your resume, there are several considerations to make. Many employers are now saying a 1 to 2 page resume is acceptable as long as everything on the resume relates to the job objective. If you have information that is not applicable, it is advised to delete this information. It is recommended to use black ink and a white or off-white resume paper. The font you choose to use should be easy to read and 11-point font size minimum. Common font styles are Times New Roman and Arial. Your margins should be no bigger than 1 inch. If you are having a space issue, you may reduce your margins to a 1/2 inch on all sides. Be consistent in your formatting. This includes when you input dates and if you choose to abbreviate the state in which you live. If the state is abbreviated in your header, it should be abbreviated in your education and experience sections as well. Be sure to check your verb tense in the bullet points. If you are writing about a current job, the action verb should be in the present tense. For example, create. However, when writing about previous jobs, the action verb should be in the past tense. For example, created. When submitting your resume to an employer, do not bend, staple, or fold your resume. If your resume is 2 pages, type your last name and the page number on the upper right corner of any pages after the first page. You may choose to format your resume with eye relief techniques. These formatting suggestions will also help draw the employer's attention to certain aspects of your resume. Techniques include bold, underline, italics, indents, bullets, capitalization, and center justification. For example, you can capitalize categories and headings, bold your job title, and center your name and contact information. White space between sections is also favored. If you have no white space on your resume, you have too much content. A reference section on your resume is no longer standard, even when it states references available upon request. Instead, include your references on a separate page. Use your header, name and contact information, then type the heading References, and list the name and contact information for each of your references. Be sure to check with each reference before listing their name on a resume or job application, and provide each reference with a copy of your resume. Don't forget, before you are finished, check the following. Make sure the voicemail greeting for the phone number you list is professional. Also, use an email address that conveys professionalism. An employer will look at your resume for less than a minute, so focus your content on the employer's needs. You can get a better understanding of the employer's needs by reading the job description and researching the position or company. Spell check and review your resume very carefully. Employers are now throwing out resumes that have even one spelling mistake. Get feedback. Have a career counselor proofread and critique your resume. It is always helpful to have a second opinion. Here at Palomar, students have many resources to utilize. Check with your campus career center either in person or online. You will find our contact information available at http://www.palomar.edu/counseling/career center/. That concludes the resume writing tutorial. You may review any portion of the tutorial at any time. Remember to make an appointment with a career counselor in the Career Center for a resume review. We look forward to seeing you.